In early 2023, engineers at Samsung pasted proprietary semiconductor source code into ChatGPT for debugging help. It happened 3 separate times before anyone caught it. That code, Samsung's trade secrets, was fed into a model that learns from its inputs. Samsung banned ChatGPT internally shortly after, but the damage was done. And Samsung wasn't alone. JP Morgan, Apple, Amazon, and Verizon all restricted or banned employee use of generative AI tools. But here's the thing, blanket bans don't work. Your employees are using these tools whether you've approved them or not. What you need isn't a ban, it's a policy. The problem is that most organizations either have no GenAI policy at all, or they have one that's so vague it's useless. Something like use AI responsibly. That doesn't help anyone, it leaves employees guessing. In the next 5 minutes, I'll show you exactly how to write a generative AI acceptable use policy that's clear and enforceable. One that actually protects your company, with a real example of what the key sections should say. Step 1. Define the scope. You must specify exactly which tools and which activities the policy covers. Include large language models like ChatGPT and Claude, image generators like Midjourney, and code assistants like GitHub Copilot. Cover both company provision tools and personal or free tools used for work purposes. There should be no gray areas. Be explicit. This policy applies to all employees and contractors who use generative AI tools for any work-related purpose. Step 2. Classify what data can and cannot be entered. This is the most critical section of your policy. Create a clear matrix. Never input trade secrets, source code, customer or employee PII, or security configurations into public AI tools. Classify some as approved with caution, like internal non-sensitive data or publicly available information, and freely permitted for things like general knowledge questions and personal productivity, like formatting an email. Explain the newspaper test. Before you paste anything into an AI tool, ask yourself a simple question. Would I be comfortable if this appeared on the front page of the Financial Times? If the answer is no, don't input it. Step 3. Set rules for output use. AI outputs must be reviewed by a qualified human before use in any business deliverable. Never trust the output blindly. This applies to customer communications, regulatory filings, and critical business decisions. Prohibit presenting AI-generated content as original human analysis. Be mindful of copyright ambiguity and IP ownership. Generative AI confidently produces wrong information. Every factual claim and citation must be independently verified before use. Step 4. Approved tools and procurement process. Maintain a clear list of GenAI tools that have passed security assessments. Require any new GenAI tool to go through the standard vendor risk assessment process before adoption by any team. Explicitly prohibit the use of non-approved tools for work. If a team wants something new, they submit it through IT. No exceptions. This ensures that data retention and privacy agreements are actually in place before your data leaves the building. Step 5. Monitoring, enforcement, and exceptions. State that the company reserves the right to monitor tool usage. Define consequences for policy violations, aligning them with your existing code of conduct and disciplinary procedures. Create a formal exception process. If a business unit has a legitimate need for sensitive data use, they must request it. They must show compensating controls, like using an enterprise version with strict data retention agreements. Let's look at a worked example. Imagine a fictional 1,000-person professional services firm writing this policy today. Their data input section says, employees must not input client data or project names unless specifically approved for that level. Now, if a consultant wants to use AI to draft a client proposal, they first check the approved tool list. They see that for client work, only the enterprise instance of Claude is allowed. They proceed with peace of mind. They know they are compliant, and the firm knows their client's trade secrets are not being leaked to a public model. Avoid these 3 mistakes. 1. Writing it in legal jargon that nobody reads. Use plain language and concrete examples. 2. Banning everything. If your policy is a blanket no, employees will just use personal devices and you'll lose visibility. 3. Not updating it. The AI landscape changes every quarter. Set a 6-month review cycle at the absolute minimum. A clear policy doesn't just protect you. It empowers your team to use AI safely and effectively. Visit www.gerctimes.com for the best practices and policy templates. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights. Thanks for watching.